I was in Turkey, watching hot air balloons fill the sky at sunset, and next to me was the man of my life. Suddenly, he got down on one knee, holding a diamond ring.
Sophia, from the moment we met, I knew you were the keeper of my heart. Please say you'll marry me.
Yes! Then he leaned over me for a kiss. But wait, why does it feel so sloppy? I ignored it and went with the flow, then... Wow, not me. Still in bed, wiping drool off my face. Definitely not. Hi, I'm Sophia, the girl so in love with other people's love. Romance is my jam, and my whole life's motivation. I've lost count of the sleepless nights I've had just so I could find out the ending to a love story. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll have a perfect romantic relationship like those characters. Only reality won't stop slapping me in the face with 17 years of loneliness and counting. I know it sounds quite normal, right? Until some mean girl started mocking me and my hobby every day. Soph, how many novels have you read this week? I don't remember. Maybe 7? Wow, that's impressive. You must have a lot of love experience by reading these, huh? And how many roses did you receive this year? Oh, that's 0. School sucked, and home was not better. My parents mostly worked far from home, so it was usually just me rattling around the house. I got super lonely, but luckily, I had Gabrielle to keep me company. She's a sweet old lady I care for after school. She's a kind soul who always tells me the most magical love story, her own. My husband could have picked any girl, but he chose me. From the moment our eyes met across the meadow with only bluebells and buttercups separating us, we both knew that we were meant to be. Aww, this only fuels my drive to find true love, to know how it feels to be completely and utterly adored by someone. But no matter how hard I tried, my dating experiences were no more than a romantic comedy series, without the romantic. When I told Gabrielle about them, but she laughed and said I was too picky. I'm not picky, I swear. I just want my love to be perfect. He has to be smart, handsome, caring, romantic, and have the cutest smile. You must know someone. What about Shane? Didn't you like him at one point? I did, until I saw his B in geography. My boyfriend has to be good with directions or else he'd never find his way to me. What about my neighbor Iris's son? He's a smart young man your age. That nose picker? No way! This is hopeless! Am I destined to stay in this single inferno forever? Anyway, I needed to stop moaning and focus on my job. I started dusting, but I was so busy daydreaming that I knocked over a picture frame. I quickly picked it up and saw it was of a cute guy. Gabrielle, who's this? That's James, my grandson. He owns a company that makes robots. Oh, so that's why your house is fully equipped with cleaning robots, dishwashing robots, and so many others. Yes, I'm quite proud of him. But alas, I see him once in a blue moon 'cause he's so busy. But if you'd like, I can arrange for you two to meet. Thank you, but tech bros are a pass. Guys, I wasn't into nerdy guys who didn't have time for anyone but their latest inventions. I wanted my dream guy to only have eyes for me. Gabrielle then had an emergency at her neighbor's house, so I stayed and continued organizing all her junk. The plan was to put them in the garage, but there were so many corridors in our house that I took a wrong turn and ended up near the steps to the basement. The box was heavy, and I figured a garage and a basement were both storage places, so I took it down there. Huh? What is this place? It's like something out of Westworld. Then my heart almost jumped out to see this. Wow! He looked so lifelike that I unconsciously reached out to touch his skin. It felt as soft as a human's. Oh my god, I accidentally pressed some buttons on it!
I love you, my mistress.
The heck is that? Stay back, or else I'll hit you!
Mistress, you are beautiful.
Don't come any closer! Despite my threats, he started chasing me around.
I am at your service, my mistress. Please stop running.
Back off! I am not your mistress!
I believe this is yours, my mistress.
Well, it didn't seem like he meant any harm, and just acting like a true robot. Curious, I tested out some of the different modes, and oh wow, he can make a flower bouquet out of metal scraps, massage my feet like he's the world's best masseuse, and lift me like I don't weigh anything to him, like it comes straight out of a sci-fi movie. I tried searching for more info on this robot online, but no matter which keywords I used, no relevant results came up. It's almost time to go home. I needed to get back upstairs before Gabrielle found out what I'd been doing, but I couldn't find a deactivation button anywhere.
That tickles, haha. Can you please stop, miss?
As if you could feel tickles! Ugh! This will do for now. That evening, I was having dinner when I heard my doorbell ring. I opened it and was astonished to see that robot with a heart-shaped box.
Please, let me court you, my mistress.
Why on earth are you here? Go back to your place. But the robot didn't take no for an answer and kept harassing the doorbell and peeking through my window. Man, I can't take this anymore. I left my jacket at Gabrielle's, but I don't want it to disturb her. Can you go get it for me?
My mistress, I will not leave your side, even if it means I have to disobey you.
So I had to walk him back to Gabrielle's house. I tried making him crawl through the doggy door so he wouldn't trigger any alarm, but little did we know. Oh my god, her security system reaches that part of the house too? Hey, robot, it looks like you're gonna have to stay at mine.
I don't like this name, mistress. Please give me another one.
Fine, I hereby name you Edward, after, the handsome Edward Cullen.
Quite outdated, but handsome is fitting.
Maybe I could get Edward back without Gabrielle knowing. I didn't want her to think I was a snoop, or worse, a thief. I liked her far too much to risk losing her as a friend. Only, having a robot around complicated things. Luckily, my parents were on a business trip, but that let Edward freely wreak havoc at my house. He put my toothbrush into the toilet bowl, ruined my white shirt by washing it with my pink sweater, and made me a cat food sandwich. I thought robots were smart. Why is this one so dumb? Also, I can't stop Edward from following me to school. Honestly, I couldn't help but feel a little smug in front of those mean girls with Edward by my side. As everyone gathered around the new student, he just randomly started singing and made up song about how much he loved me, and even threw heart-shaped confetti out of nowhere all over me. I needed to get him out of there before he pulled anything else, or worse, before they found out he was a robot and thought I was even more desperate than I already was. I finally managed to get a quiet night after leaving Edward with the cat, when suddenly I heard banging sounds. Jeez, Edward is roaming around again. Ed, can you please leave my cat alone? I'm trying to sleep. But then I heard footsteps marching toward me. I opened my eyes to see a masked figure holding a big bag. Who are you? Help! Then Edward immediately charged in and tackled the intruder to the floor. I was shaken up, but I managed to call the police while Edward stood guard over the knocked-out thief. Edward kept asking if I was okay, and if I got hurt, I couldn't help but smile back at him. He saved me, and was so cool doing it. From that day, I started treating him like I would a real boy. I showed him my favorite books, enjoyed movie nights with him, and went feeding the ducks in the park together. The more time I spent with him, the more I started to realize he was my other half. Well, see, he could make milk tea exactly how I liked it, gently comforted me when I got a B in English, and was unbelievably patient when it took me ages to decide my next move whenever we played chess. Best of all, we could have long, deep talks till the sun comes up. He was so perfect, as much as I didn't want to return him anymore. I felt guilty every time I faced Gabrielle, so I came to her house less and less. She texted me asking if I was okay, but I simply replied that I was busy with school. It seemed that she hadn't known anything about the disappearance of Ed. Life with Edward was just too good to give up, aside a few limitations. This morning I came to him with open arms, fully expecting his warm, fuzzy embrace, but turns out robots suck at giving hugs. It felt like hugging a mannequin. Then there's the occasional lagging, which was super embarrassing when it happened in public, like knocking over a stack of cans at the supermarket level of embarrassing. Or sometimes when he just froze for like 15 minutes loading my commands. But that's not a big deal. We were still happy together. Until that day. We were on a picnic in a meadow when it suddenly rained. We looked at each other and started laughing, chasing each other barefoot through the slicking grass, then dancing under the sudden silver curtain, twirling and splashing like giddy children. In that moment, I knew the storm outside was nothing compared to the one raging within, a joyous tempest of connection and love. Suddenly, Edward moved slower and his voice trailed off. Sophia, I don't feel so good. I won't make it. That's when I came back to my senses, realizing he wasn't a human. How can he suffer under the rain? No, Edward, no! You have to make it! Don't leave me! I really, really like you! How nice would it be if you were a real person? Then, to my horror, he froze on the spot. I tried to get him to move, but it was no use. He'd shut down. I couldn't sleep or eat or do anything. It was horribly empty without him. No one here asked me if I was okay, and no one's there to make me milk tea or laugh at silly things anymore. Worse still, prom was fast approaching. I decided to come without a date. I walked around, seeing people talking and laughing with each other, and somehow I felt so lost, and even lonelier than before. My heart sank to the floor. I couldn't be here any longer. As soon as I returned home from school, I went immediately looking for my Edward, but he wasn't there. Edward had gone! Hey, I'm Sophia. If you missed the first part of my story, I'll get you up to speed. I'm a hopeless romantic with the worst luck, until I stumbled upon the most gorgeous robot in my friend Gabriel's basement. Crazy, huh? Guess what? I also named him Edward and started dating him. But then, out of the blue, he vanished. So here I am, running around looking everywhere for my robot boyfriend, who had actually shut down. Ugh, I should have exercised harder. I kept running and running and running when bam! I accidentally ran headfirst into, oh my god, Edward! I immediately wrapped my arms around him so tightly. Where have you been? You got me worried sick! But hang on, his body's warm, and I could feel his heart beating. I let go and stared at him. This is Edward's face, all right, but something seemed off. I couldn't stop myself from poking his arm and pinching his cheeks. Whoa, you can blush now? Were you upgraded? Then I gave his hair a pull test and another hug. This is perfect! I love it! Then a drop of sweat landed on my cheek, rolling down to my mouth. It even tastes salty! Ed, you're so cool!
Enough already, crazy girl. You're lucky I don't condone violence against the mentally ill. Kindly get away from me, please.
So you're a real person? What the heck? Then why does he look just like Edward? As if things couldn't get any worse. The mean girls from school drove by. They seemed to have recognized me because their car slowed down and one girl stuck her head out. Walking to prom all alone? Where's your boyfriend? Did he see some sense and dump your sorry butt? Looks like you returned to spinsterhood for good. I couldn't say as much as a squeak back and simply lowered my head in shame. They were not wrong. Suddenly, someone linked arms with me. I looked up and saw that guy.
I'm her new boyfriend. You got a problem with my girl?
I was confused. So were the mean girls. Isn't he still the same guy? Is he crazy too? Birds of a cuckoo feather flock together. Let's go, girls. I was so grateful that he'd come to my rescue that I absent-mindedly clung onto his arm and jumped up and down in excitement. The guy just shook me off coldly.
Calm down. I only did it because I don't like seeing anyone being picked on, especially if they really are crazy. Anyway, do you remember where your house is? I'll take you home for safety.
Hey, I'm not crazy. I'm absolutely 100% normal. Let's see. The first person to discover America was Christ.
Okay, that's enough. No need to prove.
Then he told me his name was Nathan and asked why both me and those mean girls seemed certain he was my boyfriend. Yeesh. I couldn't exactly tell him I dated his doppelganger who's a robot, could I? He already thought I was nuts. It's just, you look a lot like someone I used to date, but, only from a distance. Close up, you have different eyebrows, different frowns, different smiles, and different expressions.
Okay, I guess that makes perfect sense.
Wow, he actually fell for that?
Okay, bye.
Wait, I still needed to find out if Nathan the human and Edward the robot were somehow connected. Hey!
What now?
I, enjoy talking to you, even though you think I'm crazy. Would you want to hang out again? I could show you my sticker collection? Jesus, what are you saying, Sophia?
Sure, you can hit me up whenever. Here you go.
Oh, wow, that was easy. I guess I had much more games than I thought I was. But 3 days had gone by and I still hadn't texted Nathan. I followed the 3-day rule and waited. But what if he ghosted me? The possibility of rejection sounded bad. But not finding Edward seems even worse. That thought freaked me out so much I hit send without thinking. But I felt regret right after looking at my nonsense text. No way he would reply. Then my phone dinged.
Not since I was 12. Why? Don't tell me you collect robots as well as stickers.
Just curious. I don't collect robots, but now I'm thinking about it.
You make collecting robots sound the same as collecting stickers.
We messaged back and forth all day, and then before I knew it, we arranged our first date. We met at the park and he brought me ice cream. I happily accepted it, while still focusing on my mission. Yum, ice cream! Do you think robots get sad that they can't eat it?
I imagine they don't give it much thought.
Wow, you seem to know a lot about them. Did you study robotics or artificial intelligence?
No, I didn't. It's obvious robots don't enjoy ice cream like we do.
So you don't want to be a robot?
No, not really.
I tried to subtly sneak more robot questions in, but he managed to answer all of them and never seemed caught off guard or anything. The thing is, I was enjoying spending time with Nathan, especially as I was extra lonely without Edward. So I agreed to go on more dates with him. I also decided to start visiting Gabriel after school again. Today, I brought her some cookies and apologized for being absent, but she seemed distracted. When I asked her what's wrong, she just said, "I misplaced something important and now my grandson is unhappy with me." Oh no, she already knew about the robot. Have you seen it anywhere? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to activate it. It just looked so real and it followed me home and became my boyfriend, but then it vanished and... Sweetie, what are you talking about? It was me. I took the robot.
What robot? I was talking about the control for the toaster robot.
Say what? I was screwed. And now I really had to come clean. Then I showed her a picture of me with Edward, and also me with Nathan. Dearie me, they do look like twins. James hasn't said anything about it, so he probably hasn't noticed either. In the meantime, please keep looking for Edward, but it's best that you investigate the link between him and Nathan yourself. If I start asking James questions, he'll only get suspicious. I was relieved Gabriel didn't scold me. She's right. I needed to solve these mysteries myself, and the only way was spending more time with Edward's identical human twin. And I'd been doing just that. Nathan and I had gone on a couple of dates already, and I liked how he was always sweet toward me, even though I was still shy and found it hard being around human guys. He always took care of me and didn't seem to notice any other girls. Best of all, we had a special spot just for us in this beautiful forest that Nathan showed me. I gradually noticed how similar he was to Edward, like how both of them often surprised me with sweet treats, didn't mind when I said or did silly things, and smiled whenever I smiled. Nathan was also super smart.
Do you know it takes 100 cocoa beans to make one candy bar?
I didn't know that. I just know how to love you.
Me too. You know what? The longer I'm with you, the cuter I find you. I just can't resist.
This cool guy had a silly side to him too, like when he'd bet me he could catch a squirrel or climb a really tall tree, which reminded me so much of Edward running after my cat. But unlike a robot, Nathan had this funny snort laugh and he chewed his nails. Ew! And he could be a grump when we were watching TV. He had this annoying habit of changing channels mid-show. ADHD much? Usually these traits would have put me off a guy, but for some reason when it came to Nathan, I found them endearing. I guess relationships aren't always rosy, because humans are supposed to have imperfections, right? Although, I figured there are things we could accept or overcome together. So I encouraged him to give the nail biting a break, and he eventually stopped. Besides, I gradually can't get mad when you took over the remote anymore. Nathan, I'm watching it!
Babe, just 5 minutes, please.
And who knew that a high-speed car chase could be so thrilling? So far, I'd say our relationship had been spontaneous, unexpected, and a whole lot of fun. Time passed, yet there was still no sign of Edward. I owed it to Gabriel to solve this mystery before her grandson found out and got mad. I knew I had one option left. Ask Nathan directly. Nate, you need to come clean with me. Do you know anything about this robot?
Yeah, right. Calling me a robot. Very funny, Soph.
Okay then, do you remember doing this? I saw Nathan's grin fade to this puzzled look.
I don't know anything about this. It's concerning that someone is using my appearance for an artificial intelligence product. Who knows what this could lead to?
Talking to Nathan hadn't helped at all. I was left feeling even more confused than before. So I decided to take action. The next day when I came to Gabriel's, as usual, she was putting on her coat to leave. She told me she just had to drop off a present at her neighbor's, but she'd be back soon and I must stay and join her for dinner. Time and place, Sophia. Being alone in her house, I found myself staring at the basement door. That's right, I'd looked for Edward everywhere except here. Maybe I'll find some clues there. The coast was clear, so I headed down to the basement. I only wanted to see if there's any traces of Edward, then out of there. But I ended up discovering something shocking. Edward was there. Someone must have brought him back. Before I could get a grip of the situation, I heard footsteps. This could be my one chance of getting answers. So I hid in the corner and couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the person entering was... Hey, I'm Sophia. If you missed part 1 and 2 of my story, then you should go and check it out. Here's a quick refresh. Somehow, I landed myself a boyfriend named Edward. He was everything I'd hoped for, except that he's a robot. The one day, he suddenly went missing. I tried to find him, but instead, I found Nathan, who was identical to Edward, but human. I wanted to know how this could be possible, so I started dating Nathan to figure it out, but still had no clue. Then, my jaw dropped when I saw Edward back at Miss Gabriel's basement, where I first found him. Just then, I heard footsteps coming in, and I had to hide myself. And the person walking in was... Nathan? Wearing a lab coat? Next to him was another guy who looked just like Gabriel's grandson. So he must be James. But what did Nathan get to do with James and this basement lab?
The actuator's frazzled. We need to do a better job of making him waterproof. He's fixable, sir. We just need to give him better defense against the elements. I have this special coating paint that might help. Good. No wonder you're his creator.
Hold on. Nathan created Edward for James's company? He knew about him this whole time and he'd lied to me? But why?
Oh, and finish it before the launch this weekend. About that, I'm not sure this is the right time to launch the robot. Why? What if people use it for the wrong reason? Imagine a world where a robot replica would replace someone in important situations, like their own wedding or a proposal dinner. Wouldn't the other person get hurt once they find out? The person they have feelings for or getting married with is an apathetic robot? You're talking about that girl, Sophie, aren't you? Don't you dare tell me you have feelings for her now. You're the one who created the robot. You're the one who wants to show it to the world. Why let a test subject change your mind? She's not a test subject. You're saying this, but you're the one who programmed it to fall in love with the person who activated it and put a micro camera in its eyes to gather sample footage. Didn't you have fun replaying them over and over again?
Those words left me speechless. That's who I was to him this whole time? Just some guinea pig to test out his product? How could he be so heartless? I tried to stop the tears from falling, as now was not the time, but then accidentally knocked over a box.
Who's there?
I froze at the spot as James came straight at where I was hiding, peeking through the stuff covering me.
Found you, little mouse.
With panic surging through my body, I leapt to my feet and ran into the only elevator down here and pressed close before he could reach me. I thought I'd lost them as I reached the garden and stopped to take a break, when suddenly I felt someone gripping my arm. Nathan?
Soph, please, let me explain everything.
I didn't want to talk to him, so I tried pushing him off me. He touched my shoulder and tried calming me down, but this only made me angrier. You used me! How could you do that? I liked you, Nathan. I really liked you. But I was just an object in your stupid experiment.
It wasn't my intention to use you, Sophia. You snuck into the lab that day, accidentally activated the robot, and it fell in love with you. James saw that as an opportunity to see how the robot would interact with a human, and I went along.
Are you saying I brought it all on myself?
No, I
literally told you everything. I even repeatedly asked you about Edward, and you didn't have the decency to tell the truth, and you want to blame it all on me? Was anything happening between us real? Do you even like me?
Sophia,
My heart was raging as I waited for his answer, when...
Nathan, do you see her? No, she didn't go this way. You should go. Let me handle James.
I ran away immediately, but as soon as I got home, I realized something. That was my one chance of confronting them for the way they treated me like an experiment. But instead, I just ran away like a coward. Stupid Sophia! Anyway, now that everything's out in the open, I don't have any further questions. It's true they lied to me, but those feelings came from my own heart. I can't blame anyone but myself for being typical gullible Soph. But even days later, I couldn't shake those feelings off. I was too sad to eat or drink. Even thinking felt like a stab to my heart. I just didn't understand how Nathan could do this to me. Then I got a message from Gabriel. She was worried because I suddenly left the dinner that night and hadn't come back ever since. Oh, sweet Gabriel. She even asked if something was bothering me. She had been nothing but nice to me. Even when everyone else had walked out of my life, from a robot to a real person. My parents didn't help either. They were never there for me. Gosh, if only I could tell her everything without troubling her. I sobbed myself to sleep. But the next day, a call from Gabriel woke me. I felt bad for ignoring her messages, so I ended up answering it.
Sophia, come over to my house. I have something very important to tell you.
I tried to ask her what it was, but she refused to say it on the phone. I agreed to go over there. So for the first time in days, I showered, dressed, and left the house. On arriving, I saw the car in the garage. When I went inside, I asked Gabriel about it, and she told me it was James's.
That boy has been locking himself up in his room for days. I was worried about him and wanted to know what was going on. But only when I asked about the robot did he tell me the truth about his project.
I'm listening, Gabriel.
I was so shocked to hear, and I bet you were too, right? James told me you had heard their whole conversation. I told James off for doing that to you. I apologize on his behalf. He's not a bad boy, but he's so passionate about his experiments that he overlooks the hurt it may cause. He has learned his lesson, especially now that the project is cancelled because that trainee Nathan has disappeared with the robot.
What? Nathan did what? But why? I thought he was only using me. Was there something that I didn't know? I called him right away, trying to figure out where he went, but it came straight to voicemail.
Is everything okay?
I reassured Gabriel, then asked her if I could talk to James. She agreed and led me up to his room. When he opened the door and saw me, he instantly slammed it shut. It was Gabriel who made him come out again, or he would be in big trouble.
You little devil! Who taught you such rude behavior?
Pfft, who would have thought that this dude was scared witless of his granny? Then Gabriel settled us down in the living room so that we could talk things out.
I'm really sorry for doing this to you, Sophia. You see, this is my life's work, and I've spent my entire youth on it. I just didn't expect Nathan to give up halfway through like that.
Aren't you afraid of hurting me when you say that?
You have every right to be, but I hope that you could see my side of the story. which I could imagine is what Nathan must have felt too. He used to have a vision about a robot that could help humans out in difficult situations, and could go to an extent of replacing them, and that got me intrigued. We were so dedicated to this project that when it was about to hit a dead end, we were devastated. But then you suddenly showed up and it started working smoothly. So we decided to keep on track of both of you and the robot to see how stable it is. But things changed when you started to have feelings for Edward, the robot, while Nathan developed feelings for you. That's when he doubted that this project was going to mess with people's feelings instead of helping them like you wanted. That's why he stole the robot and disappeared. He must have felt immense guilt for what he did to you. I didn't understand it back then, but Grandma's made me realize this was thoughtless of me. I looked at James and could tell that he seemed remorseful. Nathan told me to stop, but I was too cool-headed for that. I told him we were continuing. If he tried to stop me, then he'd be breaking the contract and have to pay compensation. So when he heard your wish to turn the robot into a real person, he appeared to make it up to you. I couldn't believe that Nathan had done that for me. Yes, it was kind of messed up, but it was also kind of romantic. Then James told me how Nathan had not only left with the robot, but he'd also paid the compensation. I'm bummed out about the robot, but it's a life lesson. You know, it's obvious Nathan's feelings for you are real. It was a relief to have answers, but it was also sad. It felt so final, and even though I was still angry with Nathan, I wanted to see him again. If only he would zap into my room like Edward did in Twilight, I would definitely swoon. But it was time for me to stop daydreaming and move on. Well, almost. Everyone's allowed to dream, right? This love story may not have ended as happily as any of my romance books or movies, but it had given me new experiences. Love isn't perfect, but it made me evaluate what's important in life. Okay, so I was still single, but so what? I didn't need a boyfriend to be happy, and I didn't need to obsess about finding the perfect guy. I started focusing on myself and discovering new hobbies, made new friends, and I even told my parents how lonely I was feeling and how I missed having them around. They apologized for being neglectful, and even though traveling was part of their work, now when they're home, they make more effort to spend time with me. And even when they're away, they call and text me all the time. Also, I don't work for Gabriel anymore, but we're still great friends and I see her every day. 'Cause I'm now James's consultant. Surprise, huh? Beneath his thoughtless exterior, he's actually not so bad. I am helping him develop a new robot project as I happen to be an experienced robot expert. And under my supervision, the project would definitely not go wrong and mess with anyone's emotions anymore. As for Nathan, I hadn't heard or spoken to him since that day. I still think about him a lot, and I come here sometimes, to our special place. It's so peaceful, and I just let happy memories surround me. Then suddenly, I looked up and saw Nathan! I couldn't believe my eyes, but my body just moved subconsciously to give him a big hug. Sorry, but where have you been? I was hoping one day I'd find you here. I'm sorry for making you a part of the project without your consent. That was unforgivable. But while watching you, I found myself falling for you. So I wanted to make your dreams a reality. I wanted to make Edward real for you.
You should have been honest with me.
I know. I handled things terribly. But believe it or not, the robot was made with good intentions. I was so lonely and I didn't want anyone to feel like that. But I'm not going to continue developing the robot. I've realized that people need to find the courage to face their emotions. No matter how advanced robots are, they're missing something. A heart. I just hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. And thank you for making me a better person.
Looking at him, I just knew he meant every word. You have lots of flaws, but your flaws make you, you. Not a robot, but a real human being. And I accept those flaws. Isn't that what love is?
Indeed. So, will you give this robot version 2 another chance?
Shut up and kiss me now. I was chewing popcorn watching my favorite channel with my bestie Diana when I heard Juliana's screeching voice. Cheryl! Emergency! Help me! I dashed towards her room to see her struggling with clothes. Oh, my dear, you're here. Come and help me choose which bag would suit my gown better, Gucci or Versace. Is this your emergency? Yes, absolute emergency. I must look fab on tonight's date. What? A date? Don't you remember you just cried your eyes out for some jerk yesterday? Can you believe her? Sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Cheryl, living in New York. And that's Juliana, my aunt. My parents passed away when I was little. Since then, Juliana moved in and became my guardian, as per their will. She was funny and expected to make good company in this huge house, but most of the time she wasn't around. The only time she sat down with me was...
I just bought him a brand new Bentley to walk his dog the other day, but the next day he immediately dumped me. He said he wanted to share my burden, but seeing how heavy my 20-carat diamond necklace is, he stole it and ran away.
My auntie always loved with all her heart, only her taste in men really needs some fixing. As you can see, all gold diggers. But for some reason, she refused to see those red flags and still hooked on them like a crazy bull. And inevitably, her long list of heartbroken stories keep getting longer and longer. Recently, Juliana met someone new and dined out every day. But you know how it's gonna end. Once they steal something from her, they surely would run away and leave her inconsolable back to me. Actually, I've once dated a guy like that. But of course, I'm not easy to deceive like Juliana. Once I sensed something fishy about that guy, I kicked him in his butt right away. That's why it's my first and also my only relationship I've been in. But no big deal. I have my bestie Diana. She might look timid, but really reliable. She knew everything about me. Then one day, Juliana asked me to join them for dinner. Wasn't this the first time she introduced her boyfriend to me? But this guy was kinda special? Or even strange to her usual style. Juliana only ever dated six-pack guys. But now, what's this overweight, short, and bald man doing here? Auntie, are you alright? But the real bummer was he brought along his son, who also happened to be Andrew, my freaking gold digger ex. It all happened when I was 14, the age where everyone was in a relationship, except me and Diana. One day, my class gathered to play Kiss, Spin the Bottle, and on my turn, the bottle pointed to Andrew, the only boy in my class who was single at that time. Friends screamed in extreme excitement and started to push us together, and we kissed. Since then, my classmates started to ship us as a couple until one time Andrew came to me.
Hey, you don't have a boyfriend. I don't have a girlfriend. Why don't we become an item? Our friends seem to like it too.
Stupid offer, right? But 14-year-old me thought it's a good idea to join the dating circle like my friends after all. I mean, being the only single girl really sucked. And he surely got a look and would make a good match with me. So I agreed. And we became official and did what other couples do, from holding hands to public kissing. Andrew turned out to be a good acting partner. And it was quite fun, to be honest. Except for those moments where I wish I could just end his life. Bae, I'm hungry. Get me something. But he's still totally wrapped up in finishing his 10th burger. Until I nudged him that did he pay attention to his starving girlfriend?
Aw, my bae is hungry. Then eat, my love.
But what was it? I opened my eyes to find out he fed me his greasy finger. Ew! That definitely raised my hackles up. I stood up and gave him my tantrum, but he had the audacity to fight back. If Diana hadn't stopped me there, I swear I was gonna give him some scratches. But still, we both had to settle down our first couple fight to continue our lovey-dovey girlfriend-boyfriend thing. Ugh. Things ran quite so smoothly that sometimes I thought I was in a real relationship. Then one day, I was walking in the schoolyard to hear some boys talking.
Hey, Andrew and Cheryl have been together for 2 months, right? Yeah. I can't believe our spin the bottle trick that day could be that successful. Shout out to our handsome boy Andy, who's willing to go into the lioness's den to help us earn some more allowance from our rich lady. Perfect. And now the bait is taken, it's time to give Andrew the cue to action.
What? So Andrew's offer only comes from an attempt of leeching onto me? How dare he? I immediately stormed away to find him sit on a bench.
Hi, bae. Why the long face? Who stole your food?
Drop your act. I know you're just a gold digger.
What gibberish are you talking about? I don't know what's going on with you, but don't put it on me.
He still had the guts to deny it and even dared to go berserk at me. We're over. Not long after, he moved to another city with his family. Good riddance. And from that moment, I said no to boys, as they only come to me for money. I didn't expect to see this jerk again, especially in this kind of situation. I dragged him outside. You have to stoop this low? Couldn't get my money, so now you asked your dad to steal from my aunt?
Quit thinking everything has to spin around you just because you have some money. I just want my dad happy and he seemed to like your aunt. I warn you, don't cause any trouble.
The next morning, I woke up to the most shocking news ever. Cheryl, Mr. Hardy and I are engaged! The wedding is soon to be decided and 2 families will move in together. What on earth? They've known each other for hardly 2 months and now they're getting married? What? This Hardy guy must have put some kind of spell on Juliana. Wait, so Andrew the jerk, he's my cousin now? No, I can't let him rob me one more time. I so needed some bestie talk right now. But why is Diana clinging to Andrew? I rushed over without a second thought. Hey, what's going on here?
Are you blind? We're seeing each other now.
What kind of gibberish did I just hear? I dragged Diana away immediately. You better have a proper reason. I'm sorry. You know too well what kind of person he is. Why? Can you do me a favor? You and Andrew are living under the same roof now, but can you keep a distance from him? What? Are you for real? You know, I'm a bit insecure. Okay, fine. You worry for nothing anyway. In no scenario do I want to be near him. What's wrong with the people around me? Frustrated, I came home, but to see Andrew's dad in my house.
We just moved back to the city, so it's taking more time for our housing contract to settle. So we'll have to live in your place, just for now. Is it okay?
Of course, bae. This castle is too big for the two of us anyway. Right, Cheryl? Yeah, how convenient for you, Mr. Hardy. Just move in, and all this house and cars are all yours to use now. And that's how Andrew and his dad entered my life and made it miserable. Every single night, he kept bothering me with a screeching sound that I couldn't stay focused on studying. Stop it or I'm gonna throw away your flute.
Pity you can't comprehend art, cousin.
Not just that, I had to share a bathroom with him, which now rather turned into his own exhibition of Star Wars obsession from towels, doormats, or even toothbrushes. Literally everything. Ugh. He even left his stinky football jersey for days. Ew. And of course, I couldn't let Andrew invasion continue like that. I drawed the boundary to set my territory.
Hey, that's not fair. You got an inch more.
What? Obviously not. And you know where he got his annoying nature from? Yeah, you guessed that right. His dad one day brought a full box of tools and left them everywhere in my house. Then he dragged every old item out of the basement and got them fixed. Hey, this castle wasn't supposed to be his mechanic shop, and we have enough money to buy new stuff. One day I told Juliana my bed was too high and I wanted a new one. But Mr. Hardy was faster and insisted on fixing my bed. But when I lied on it, it collapsed immediately. Help, my butt! I just know it's his tactics to win Juliana's heart. And seemed like it worked, as my aunt, who was never seen in the kitchen, now volunteered to show off her cooking skills. Wow, love's power, they say. Then let's see how love would burn. I just happened to heat up their love by adding some super hot chili into Mr. Hardy's portion. And after the first bite, he ended up crying like a baby.
Don't you know I have a peptic ulcer?
Then he held his stomach and left the table. Juliana hurriedly followed him to their room, all looking concerned. New trick to wheedle some more gifts? Impressive.
It's you, right?
Me what? I ignored him and went back to my delicious sup, but this party pooper stole the dish and scoffed, like being left starving for decades. Okay, fine. If you insist. You just pushed all of my buttons, you moron. I snatched his dish and finished the steak in front of him, and I could see his eyes turned red in anger. And that's when the fork fight broke out between us, until the maids came in to prevent any more calamity. The next morning, I saw my aunt taking Mr. Hardy to the hospital. Oh, I didn't expect it to be that bad. Right then, a delivery man came. Oh my! Wasn't it Green Day? My favorite band of all time? But this vinyl was rare. Not everyone could have this. Who bought it?
It's mine.
You?
Hey, cousin, can you pay for me?
I spent all my money on game yesterday. Classic. Fine, I'll pay. To make up for the prank yesterday. Okay, but with a condition. I'll unbox the vinyl. We returned to the living room and opened the vinyl. The cool guitar riffs and engaging lyrics gives me chills every time. When my jam was playing, I sang it out loud like usual. And notice Andrew did too. And just like that, we sang together until the song ended. And we started to talk about Green Day nonstop.
American Idiot was the best album ever written. Fight me.
No, Andrew Idiot. Dookie was the one that established their name.
You call me idiot? Then you might listen to Dookie too much that turned you into Cheryl Poopy as well.
What? I'm Cheryl Cherry Bomb! Too much for spending time with this jerk this morning. His taste in music is okay, but his personality is definitely not. One day at school, while I was busy with my homework, suddenly a boy stormed in my place.
Hey, beauty, I get a dare. Would you mind giving me a kiss?
What? I very mind. Get off me! But he still leaned towards and trying to press his dry as the bark of a tree lips on mine. One day at school, while I was busy with my homework, suddenly a boy stormed in my place.
Hey, beauty, I get a dare. Would you mind giving me a kiss?
What? I very mind. Get off me! But he still leaned towards and trying to press his dry as the bark of a tree lips on mine. No way! All I gave him was a slap on the face to shake the last cents back to him.
Come on, it's just a truth or dare game. Don't need to overreact like that.
Yeah, that's right. Just give him a kiss, Cheryl. And don't act so highly. It's not every day that someone offers to kiss you. Gosh, these dudes might as well need to be taught a lesson then.
Hey, stop. It's a game to you, but not to her. And she has a right to act on her own will.
Huh? Andrew was defending me? What's wrong with him today? Who told you I need your help? Those boys really killed my mood today, that I couldn't focus on anything else. All of a sudden, I heard Green Day playing, and soon I lost my negative thoughts to the song and became completely absorbed in it. And you know who's the idiot that played it. The next day, Diana took me out for some retail therapy. Hey, about yesterday, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine now. Such a relief, Cheryl. But just a little reminder, please don't misunderstand that my boyfriend has something with you. He was just being kind, you know.
What? Me? With your boyfriend?
As if! Even if he's the last boy on the planet, I'd never like him. Really? That's all I want to hear. I get this, please. Sometimes I couldn't understand my friend. But what if he still had feelings for me? What am I thinking? Get yourself together, Cheryl! After a fun shopping day, we separated and I went home to see Mr. Hardy wearing apron doing something in the kitchen.
Ah, you're home. Juliana is in Paris for 2 weeks for some urgent business.
2 weeks? How was I supposed to live with just these two obnoxious people for the whole 2 weeks? But wait, Juliana is on a business trip? How strange. She's never done that kind of thing. Right that moment, I got a message saying she had to fly out to negotiate some deal for the cosmetics she was using. Well, that explained. Perhaps getting married made her become more mature, I guess.
Cheryl, go wash up. Dinner is waiting. I've prepared your favorite.
And the food Mr. Hardy cooked was surprisingly delicious. More strangely, over the next few days, I realized being with them wasn't a nightmare as I thought it would be. Mr. Hardy was an excellent cook and always tended to my favorite list. So to pay back, I volunteered to do the cleaning.
You're doing the dishes? Make sure you don't break any.
Let me save them. No need.
You do.
He's right. I couldn't finish it all by myself. We were working peacefully when I felt something cold on my cheek. He's splashing water on me. Angrily, I splashed him back. It was fun, except for how soaked our hairs and shirts were.
Gosh, how old are you both?
One day after dinner, Andrew asked me to go with him to the grocery store. Okay, fine, but I wouldn't carry any bags. Then we took a stroll around the neighborhood. The city at night with flickering lights did have some soothing effect.
Yours is chocolate, right? Can I take a bite?
Then he had like half of my ice cream.
Oops, sorry. You can have mine.
That's fine.
Seemed like our princess is in a good mood today. Normally you'd chase me all the way down the street.
That's true. I hate to admit, but since Andrew and his dad moved in, I found myself happier and more relaxed.
Hey, did I say something wrong?
And for some reason, my words naturally blurted out about how lonely I had felt in my own house. When my parents passed away, Juliana is my only family, but she's too drowned in her own flashy hobbies, sparing no time for me. Not until recently, she spent more time at home, which is good anyway.
I didn't know that, Cheryl. So we have more in common than I thought. Actually, my childhood wasn't as wonderful either. My mom and dad got divorced when I was 7. I just thought it's because they're not meant for each other, but turns out mom was having an affair, which made dad devastated and closed his heart to everyone until he met your aunt.
Poor Mr. Hardy and Andrew. My aunt actually had changed ever since she's been with Mr. Hardy too. Maybe they're the right ones for each other. We kept walking along the riverbank, and chatting with Andrew wasn't bad like I thought, or even good in some way. Suddenly, he tripped over something and fell on the ground. Gosh, you're bleeding! Sit here, I'm gonna buy some bandage. But I didn't manage to get too far before witnessing a scene I wish I didn't. A day after Juliana came back from the business trip, she immediately called for a family meeting and announced the unexpected.
Cheryl, Andrew, we have something to tell you both. Mr. Hardy and I decided our relationship has come to an end. What? Why so sudden? Dad?
Mr. Hardy didn't say anything, but seemed to not take it well either. Then Andrew turned to me for an explanation, but I just couldn't bear his look.
It's just, we realize we're not for each other. You'd better move out soon.
Empty and awkward atmosphere covered the room. The news hit us hard. Mr. Hardy kept silent until they were about to go.
You should cook for Cheryl more often. She likes stir-fry veggie.
Drop it! Stop acting like you understand me better than my aunt! Get out of my house now!
Take care, Cheryl.
They've gone out of our lives, just like I always wanted. But what is this aching feeling? Days after, at school, Andrew kept trying to talk to me, but I avoided him by all means, until once he took me by surprise and pulled me to a corner.
Cheryl, tell me, why did they break up? You must have known something, right?
Didn't you listen to my aunt? They're just not made for each other.
You're hiding something.
Stop bothering me. We're not related anymore. I walked away as fast as possible. Seeing his face was the last thing I wanted now. Thank God Diana found me. I'm sorry for that, Cheryl. By the way, I dumped Andrew. Like father, like son. Better stay away from them all. Yeah, it should have been that from the start. Things went peacefully for a week. Diana was always around, and soon my days were filled with her presence and care. I felt thankful to have a best friend like her around at this time. Then, one day, Andrew suddenly approached me in rage.
It's you, right?
What? Then he showed me the lipstick he found in his dad's bag, and some lip marks on his shirt as well. That's when he suspected Mr. Hardy was having an affair, causing the rift between him and Juliana.
But Dad said he would never do that, and I trusted him. What happened with Mom devastated Dad, so no way would he do the same thing with anyone else, which left you the only one who's behind this, right?
What? How is it here? Yes, it's me. It's me. So what?
But why did you have to do it?
Isn't it? The day after, I asked Diana to meet me in a cafe. Diana, my aunt and Mr. Hardy are getting back together. Can you believe? How could it be possible? One more thing. You forgot this at my place? Why did you do this, Diana? Is it just because you're afraid I would steal your Andrew? I told you I'd never steal my bestie's boyfriend.
What's going on here? Didn't we just fake date Diana?
Andrew? You guys just faked date? But why? Then he said that he just moved back here. He wanted to talk to me to untangle the misunderstanding in the past, in hopes everything would get cleared and we might get back together. But Diana approached him and suggested they fake date to see how I would react first.
I thought it's kind of a good idea, so I agreed.
Have you both lost your mind? Why did you suggest such a thing? It bugged me when seeing you living together, so I had to separate you again. Again? What does this mean?
It's not the first time you did this, right?
I couldn't bear seeing you together because I like you, Cheryl, for a long time now. So back years ago when you became Andrew's girlfriend for some stupid game, I tried to end it as soon as possible. Turns out, Diana paid the boys to fabricate the story of Andrew setting up the game to deceive me for money and intentionally let me hear their conversation. So that meant I wrongly accused Andrew. I trusted you as a best friend and share everything with you, even my insecurities. But you just use it as a means to satisfy your selfishness? I didn't mean it.
And now you're even willing to sabotage my family's happiness for your own needs. You've gone too far.
Diana was wrong, but not this time. Actually, Andrew, Diana wasn't the reason why your dad and my aunt broke up. It's me.
No, it's her who put the lipstick on my dad's bag, remember?
It's true, but my aunt never found this lipstick. Ironically, your dad was supposed to be accused of having an affair, but in fact, my aunt was the one who really did. You remember the night we went to the grocery store? I was looking for a pharmacy, but happened to see my aunt hands in hand with another man. Why is your Paris business trip involved having a fling with another man? Do I have to remind you that Mr. Hardy and you are getting married? Don't you love him?
Cheryl, I love him dearly. I don't know what's gotten into me. I'm sorry.
Say it to Mr. Hardy. That's when I know my aunt wasn't faithful to your dad, so I forced her to break up with Mr. Hardy immediately.
Why keep it from us?
I know your dad and you wouldn't take this well after what happened with your mom, so I didn't want to rub the old scars. I'm sorry, Andrew. I went home to see Juliana with her suitcases.
Cheryl, you're home. Sit here. I want to talk to you. There's something I wasn't honest with you, Cheryl.
Then she admitted that there's actually no gold diggers trying to deceive her. It's her who put all of the relationships in ruin, as she quickly got bored with them and quickly turned into another guy when still in a relationship.
I lied because I don't want you to think ill of me, but I didn't expect it would make you hold a negative opinion on boys. Trust me, Pumpkins. One day you'll definitely find a boy who loves you truly. Then hold him dearly, will you? Don't be like me, lapsed up into old ways and ended up losing an incredible man. I'm glad you learned that. And now I have to go. I was asked to take care of you until you're 18. And hell, you are now. I believe my pumpkin can live on her own feet from now. Bye.
I hope you could lead your independent life too, Auntie. Now, all the truth was revealed, letting out the secret that was relieving after all. I was sitting on our favorite spot at school, but beside me wasn't Diana anymore. I got this letter from her in my locker this morning. Hi, Cheryl. I apologize again for my selfish acts. I should have known better that love cannot be forced, and I am also grateful to your big heart. I always cherish every moment shared with you. Though it's hard, I have to go now to find a way to heal myself. Take care, Cheryl. Diana. Kiss. My best wishes are with you, Diana.
Why the dumb face?
Without letting me crack a word, out of nowhere, Andrew snatched my earphones.
Green Day? You're too predictable, Cheryl.
Why are you here?
I saw you sitting alone, so I guess you might need a companion.
Yeah, Diana's moved to another city, you know.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
Andrew, I'm sorry for wrongly accusing you back then. I was too childish and impulsive. I should have listened to you first.
That's fine. Actually, I have something to tell you too. You know, when you said you're the one who broke up Dad and Juliana, I was really angry. But a part of me was kinda happy, because that would mean you didn't want us to be cousins. 'Cause I didn't want that either. I want more. Cheryl, would you be my girlfriend again?
Let's see. I might or might not want that. I'm kidding, of course. I'd love to, Andrew. Then he pulled me for the most magical kiss ever.
I forgot. Dad asked you to drop by for dinner tonight.
Did he? Yeah, I should have missed that. I will ask him to make fried chicken burrito, baked ziti, Greek salad.
Isn't it too much?
I'm not finished. I was planning a bank robbery with these dudes I hired online. They claim to be ex-criminals, so it's going to be a big haul. We identified the subject, ran through the script one more time, and then headed to the bank. But when we got there, I was speechless. Hi, my name is Jolie. Wondering how I ended up robbing a bank? Come on, I'll take you on a wild ride. I come from a happy family with a mom and dad who always showered me with unconditional love. In fact, they were so perfect, I don't think they'd ever argued about anything. Growing up, I was taught to be a good person and prioritize school for future careers. I did just that, and they were so proud. But then one day, I came home to shocking news. Mom and Dad were getting divorced. But why?
Honey, this was the best for both of us. We're just not that compatible.
Not compatible? Did you just figure it out overnight? Sweetie, I know this is hard, but we're gonna be okay, I promise. No, we're not. We're a broken family and you just act like it's nothing. Do you even care at all? Days later, I still couldn't get my mind off it, until I passed by this restaurant and saw a familiar figure. Was it Dad? Holding hands with a strange woman? What the freak? Dad's been cheating on Mom? I immediately dashed home to tell Mom, but when I got there, I didn't have the heart to break it to her. Mom, you okay? It's just that the divorce has been hard on me. I respect your dad's decision, but this is really hard for me. You're the only family I got now, Jolie. No, she's wrong. I won't let her be this brooding ex-wife of Dad. I'm gonna get him back to her, once he sees how his beloved daughter is being affected by this divorce. So the next day, I went to the park and picked the flowers in public. Well, not exactly, but it's bad, right? Then I crossed the street when the sign said stop, but the policeman didn't even bat an eye. Hello? I'm breaking the law over here. Okay then, Mr. Whitman's restaurant we go. I didn't order anything, but just drew all over his wall, in chalk. Well, you don't want it to stay forever, right? But Mr. Whitman appeared and thanked me instead, as I gave him the best ideas to keep the kids entertained while eating in his restaurant. Ugh. Frustrated, I read the whole book at the bookstore without paying, littered in public, and even kicked some trash cans over, but nobody seemed to acknowledge my bad deeds. So I binge-watched some crime movies to activate my evilness. Aha! A robbery! That's why I hired those idiots. Gold Beach Bank and Trust, not Gold Beach the hat shop, you imbecile! Sorry, my mistake. We went ahead with the robbery anyway and managed to steal a bunch of hats, and I made sure to accidentally drop my wallet with my ID inside. The next day, I came home from school to see the store's owner raging at Dad, accusing him of bad parenting. But Dad stayed oddly calm and just paid for all the hats I stole. What?
Go get ready. You and I are going to dine out tonight. There's someone I want you to meet.
Let me guess. It's the side chick I saw the other day.
Jolie, this is...
Aurora. I'm your dad's friend.
Aurora, we should tell her.
Oh, drop it! I knew already. You two have been having an affair, haven't you?
Jolie, watch your words.
Why? Because it's the truth? Dad was about to say something, but Aurora stopped him. I can't believe you do this to Mom. I ran out of there and hid in this alley, crying with an aching heart, when I spotted some guys looking sketchy. They had a suitcase full of money and kept looking around cautiously. Suddenly, I stepped on a squishy, and it made the loudest noise and got them all to turn towards my direction. I immediately ran away before they spotted me and bumped into someone.
Who's that? Show yourself!
The guy instantly understood the situation and hid me away.
Just a cat, Lalo.
After the gang left, I stepped out to thank him, and my, such a heartthrob. I was going to offer to repay him, but he just brushed it off and walked away. So freaking cool! Later, I got home and saw Mom packing. She said she'd move out soon, and Dad didn't even stop her. Suddenly, I noticed something. Pictures of Mom and Aurora! Mom, you know this woman? Aurora? Yeah, we've been friends since middle school. Friends? She's not your friend. She and Dad have been having an affair behind your back. It's really over, isn't it? No, Mom! You need to stand up for yourself. If you don't do anything, then I will. There's only one way now. Get the school involved. If they see a straight-A student like me suddenly turn rebellious, they'll talk some sense into Dad, right? But of course, I need to make sure my bad deeds are legit this time. Suddenly, I noticed everyone buzzing around. Oh my god, did you hear? We got a new transfer student and he's got such a bad boy vibe. Tell me about it. He's been the hottest topic ever since he got here. Oh my god, he's coming this way. I turned around and my jaw dropped. It was the guy I met yesterday. Suddenly headed straight to me.
There you are.
You're looking for me?
No, but I'm just tired of people surrounding me. Let's get out of here.
So, transfer student, huh? What happened to your hair?
Just thought I'd change it up a little. You know, more appropriate for school.
Wait, aren't you like some kind of bad boy? Why are you following the rules?
I got a bit of a reputation, but I'm ready to change my ways.
No, good guys finish last, didn't you hear? That's why I'm trying to change too, to spice things up a bit. So, please, teach me to be a delinquent.
If you wanted that bad, then sure.
Yay! Thank you! You're gorgeous, man. Ooh, and a jacked bod, too. Tyler and I started my new rebellious plan.
Okay, show me what you got.
I immediately went straight to a group of nerds, slammed my hand on the table and snatched a guy's burger and started mooching off it. Here's some fries. Did your parents starve you? No! I immediately stood up and left, and saw Tyler, who was laughing at me hysterically.
That's your idea of being mean?
I know I'm bad, that's why I need you to enlighten me. Tyler then taught me some pranks, and it was hilarious! We kept the door shut with 20 different locks and enjoyed seeing the teacher struggling to crack them all open. Got the screen to show a bunch of memes during class, then played a bell ringing sound every 15 minutes, confusing everyone. The cherry on top was to get loads of adult diapers shipped to our beloved principal, cash on delivery. When the principal asked who did it, I proudly took the fall.
Do you care to explain yourself?
Principal, I may look bad right now, but that's because my parents are getting divorced. I can't eat, can't sleep, my mind's a mess.
All right, I get it. Jesus. I'll have a talk to your parents. You can leave now.
Father dearest, let's see how you handled this. When I got out, Tyler was waiting for me. He drove me away, then stopped by this gorgeous lake.
You didn't just rebel because you were bored, right?
I sighed, then started pouring it all out that had been bottling up inside of me.
Guess having a normal family is luxury to both of us.
What do you mean?
I actually grew up in an orphanage, but I wasn't happy there, so I ran away. I ended up on the streets and causing trouble. Luckily for me, my foster dad noticed and adopted me. I'm extremely grateful to this day, so I'm always looking to help him with the business.
Your dad has a business? What does he do? Tyler didn't answer me. When we got back, Aurora was already there waiting for me. What are you doing here? Your dad went on a business trip and asked me to come over to look out for you for a few days. No, thank you. I can look out for myself.
And who is this young man? Have we met before?
Would you please stop poking your nose into my business? Can't believe Dad still went ahead with the divorce after meeting with the principal. And now I'm stuck here with this annoying woman. Just wouldn't let me leave the house and even ordered this rubbish dusk till dawn curfew on me.
You're not going to see that guy. He's trouble.
Please, you're not my mom. So I continued meeting up with Tyler. But strangely, whenever I suggested we hang out at his place, he always seemed hesitant. So one time I went to his house to surprise him, but upon seeing me, he looked so worried.
What are you doing here? You're not supposed to come here. We have a guest today.
I turned around and was transfixed to see the sketchy guy from the alley.
Lalo, I'm Tyler's dad. You must be...
Jolie.
Oh, right, Jolie. Tyler told me lots about you. Come on in. Be my guest.
But Tyler pulled me out of there. We stopped at a nearby park when he finally loosened up a little. That man was your foster dad?
Yeah, I just couldn't tell you the truth. I'm afraid you wouldn't want me around anymore.
That's not true.
You don't get it. He's running an illicit business, and now he's asking me to take over. I know I'm deeply indebted to him, but I don't want to do anything illegal.
Then don't. Just because he brings you up doesn't mean you have to do everything by his orders, especially breaking the laws, right? Tyler nodded, but still seemed troubled. That evening, Tyler was driving me back home when I suddenly saw a familiar face. I told him to drop me off there. Inside, Aurora was sitting side by side with a man, both looking all dressed up. Across the table was another person. What was she up to?
I'm telling you, this pair of top-notch diamond rings is perfect for your wedding.
Right. We only want the best for our wedding. Right, babe? Wedding? Those two? She's two-timing my dad. I quickly recorded their conversation and went home. Dad should be back tonight from his business trip. But when I told Dad everything, even with the recording, he still wouldn't believe me. What are you talking about? I was just out shopping all day with my friends.
Told you so.
Dad, you'll regret this deeply. And you, don't even think you could get away with this. I'll never accept you into this family. Tomorrow, the court will decide who I'm going to stay with. I know just what to do. I can't be in this house any longer. At the court, I stood up, to everyone's surprise, and spoke about how I got mistreated at home with Dad and Aurora, and asked to stay with my mom. The judge then asked Mom what she thought. I'm not so sure. Jolie should just stay with her dad. I was completely disappointed. Mom wouldn't even fight for me. When we got home, Dad immediately went bonkers on me while Aurora pulled off her nice act again. Right then, I got a text from Tyler asking to meet up, so I just stormed out of there. No, Jolie, wait up! When I arrived, Tyler looked surprised. Jolie, what are you doing here? Mijo, I used your phone to ask her to come here. Lalo then ordered his gang to tie me up. I was struggling to get away when someone rushed towards us. Lalo! Wait, Aurora? She knew this gangster? Release her now, or the police will get here any minute. Thanks for the intel, Miss DEA agent. We're about to leave. With your daughter, of course. Now, if you want to save her, fill in the place. DEA agent? As in, undercover cop? Fine, take me instead. Lalo's gang tied her up and pushed her into the van. That's right. Boys, take this brat too. We can't spare any witnesses on the scene. We had a deal, Lalo. Really? Didn't ring a bell. He ordered Tyler to drive away while the police siren was getting louder. Suddenly, Tyler took a turn. What are you doing? That is not the way! While they were distracted, Aurora slipped out the multi-tools in her pocket and started cutting the ropes around my hands. I did the same to her. Tyler then made a sudden stop. Lalo and the gang lost his balance and fell to the floor. The police immediately surrounded the van and captured these criminals. Jolie, you were right. You didn't get hurt anywhere, right? Yeah, thank you for saving me. And I'm sorry for acting so rude. It's just, I'm not ready to move on from the divorce yet. Sweetie, there's something really important I want to tell you. I'm your biological mother. What are you saying? Jean is my biological mother. No, sweetie. She's a friend of mine. I know this is all confusing, but just listen. 16 years ago, your dad and I had you. Right after giving birth, I had to move to Mexico to handle a serial diamond smuggling case caused by Lalo. And Jean offered to help out with you. I figured you deserve a normal, happy family, so I accepted her help and asked her to move to our house. Years later, thinking the case was finally closed, I moved back home, ready to reunite with you and your dad. But I suddenly got the news Lalo's organization was still operating and had to move to the States. I couldn't risk putting you in danger, so I hid the truth from you. But what about the person who talked about the wedding with you? Oh, that's Alejandro, my partner. We were just pretending to be a couple for the investigation. Oh, I had no idea. You've done so much for me. Of course, you're my daughter. Thank you, Mom. Finally, everything became clear. But as we got to the house, Jean, suddenly came dragging me away. You're my daughter. No one gets to take you away from me. Just because you raised Jolie doesn't mean you get to do anything to her. If you truly love her, you would only want the best for her. Jean then broke down crying, revealing she had lost her reproductive ability. She was so happy she had me to take care of and treated me like her own daughter. Hey, don't worry. You'll forever be my mom. I gave Jean the biggest hugs. That's when I noticed Tyler was happy for me, but sad at the same time. I suddenly realized he didn't have a family anymore. I have an idea. Why don't you adopt Tyler into your home? Tyler and Jean looked at each other, and bright smiles appeared on their faces. Everything finally turned out to be okay. I've been trying to catch up with Mom and make up for all those lost years, but I also don't forget my second mom either. Tyler, or should I say my boyfriend, now lives with Jean, and he's driving me to visit her. I'm so happy I finally have a loving family and a baddie boyfriend. Only this time, we're not trying to break bad anymore.